here.
I can see it was a teenager.
Oh, is this a little sort of diversion?
Now this is classic. Are you ready?
Quiet.
We're ready.
Yeah, but
Was.
on two things.
Now, how often do you get something beginning with twas? This is classical, historic. This is
They're
epic.
on with it.
You wouldn't say that in the Royal Albert Hall, sir. 'Twas the 5th of June 2010, and the RBYC were off sailing again. We took off from Gatwick at God knows what time, and woke up in Croatia, a country sublime. At Cornati Marina we paid our own way and looked for a boat called Paso Doble. Yeah, you didn't think of that one, did you? A monster in size at 46 feet, she was by some distance the biggest in the fleet.
Just showing off.
Yeah.
With jacuzzi and sun lounge and sails oh so large, she's a broad beam, flat bottomed, luxurious barge. Staying in that night to recover some sleep, into the four-poster bed we did leap.
All of you.
I leave that to your imaginations, ladies and gentlemen. The following morning, with vigour anew, the Paso Doble and her crew set sail from Beograd, na Maru. That's another ooh. All right, I'll do it. We thrust to the left and we thrust to the right. We thrusted all day and we thrusted all night. On the second afternoon we left our mooring, having swam and eaten and done some snoring. Last to leave we set our sails on a reach and sped down a channel alongside a beach. This is poetry. Some distance in front, a small sloop appeared, and as we caught up we all became afeared, because from its spreader it was plain to see the Commodore's pennant was in front of me. Don't pass him, Rob, the crew shouted clear. Think of your job, your glittering career. But their warnings fell silent on my deaf left ear. We're going to pass him, the skipper replied. It's just a question of which side. Do we pass him to leeward, all meek and sad, or do we pass him to windward and make him go mad? Because we'd steal what little wind he had. Oh, bigger a bogger it, said the skipper of Paso Doble. We'll pass him to windward and show him the way. Words were exchanged as we went past, but didn't last long, we were going too fast. We got our heads down and continued to make our high speed with the Commodore left in our wake. So the deed was done, and I hope in December to remain a useful and active club member. Can I go on?
Yeah!
You do realise our bedtime is another hour's time.
When did you care?
Is any on page 2?
On one of the mornings, with enthusiasm waxing, a job was devised that wasn't too taxing. Please top up with water, came the order to crew. The skipper was sure they'd know what to do. They undid a cap without due care, lifted the lid and stuck the hose down there. Some time elapsed and they were quite happy, and then from next door a German chappie said to the crew, "That's not water, down that hole water shouldn't oughter." The skipper heard this and, feeling a fool, thought, sod it, they've watered the fuel. Dashing on deck he was mighty relieved to see waste written large on the cap they'd perceived. Phew, thought the skipper, that's all okay, the holding tank's open, that saved the day. Later that night a crew member said, "Why's all this water now under my bed?" "My bag's soaking wet and once it was dry. How is there water? I don't know why." We pumped out the bilges and all seemed okay, with no further ingress of water that day. The funny thing is, though, we never could shut off the heads outlet as we really should. So we got us an expert from another boat who looked at our system, and boy did he gloat. "Ha!" he cried, "you've got all the system, but it's not connected to make you a cistern." Subtle.
Oh, yeah.
The holding tank's filled, that is fair, but all the pipes are hanging in mid-air. So if you put water in the tapped Marconic waste, it goes straight to the bilges with incredible haste. So now we all know where the bilge water came from, and it left a lump in the throat. That the first thing we did when it got on board was to try and sink our own bloody boat. I've got others, but you might be getting bored.
Go, yeah, more.
I've
I've got 30 minutes left on the camera.
And 2 more boats.
Anchoring for lunch on day 3, the helming job was left to me. You know what to do, you're an experienced bloke, but if only they knew that was but a joke. Anchor set, we reversed past the raft, and seemed to want a moor across their aft. Only kidding, we all said, and went alongside Alex instead. Throw the lines, I said to the crew, and across the deep blue sea they flew. Halfway over, though, I espied, to our boat they were not tied. Panic on our boat, jeering on the other, we did rapidly tie another. Throttle back and throttle fore, we managed to get close once more. This time lines went straight and true, and Alex, we were secured to you. Job well done, all fine and dandy. God, I need a double brandy. Do you want more? No.
Yeah, more.
Give us all you got, Rob.
I've got one. I've only got a little one now.
I thought you only had a little one anyway.
Yeah, I do. You've been peeking again. On another occasion, a crew said, "Please, Rob, can I have a helm, as I'm new at the job?" All went really well on a nice starboard reach, and then came the time to avoid the beach. "What do I do?" came the cry from the wheel. "Shout, ready, about, then turn right. You'll soon get the feel." Time came to tack, and the skipper said now, "Ready, about." She shouted loudly to the crew. "Ready," they said, "we're waiting for you." Then filling her lungs with air, she shouted again, "Turn right." Think about it. "No, that's meant for you," came the refrain. "Oops," she said, "can we try that again?"